Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I am Moist Weenus, and I am joined this evening by the wonderful, the man, the myth, the legend, Kendo. Hello, Kendo.
I'm not a myth or a legend. Where'd you get that from?
You're a real human being, flesh and blood. I understand.
I certainly am. I'm a mortal, just like everyone else.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, sir.
Thanks for having me. This is going to be a blast.
Yes, absolutely. So what are we playing tonight? Well, we are going to watch a Div A West game match play out. It's going to be a 2 moist game series here of Subject to Change versus Blasting Burros. So Division B writer Linehouse, you get to watch him play. So Division B, if you guys want to razz on your writer, feel free to do so. Map 1 is Braxis. We're headed to Braxis, and map number 2, we're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is a great reminder of when I say where we're going, that I actually input that information into the map selector. So that would be good. Let me just do that. All right, now. Perfect. All right. So this should be a pretty exciting game. Just looking at the standings real quick for Division A, this is going to be the 3rd and final match played for both these two teams. As we are nearing the end of round 1. It's been a lot of fun watching all these teams play, and now we'll actually have some data for going into round 2. So I'm going to pull from Stats of the Storm, the delightful Falendrith put together. But so for right now,
does great work, Falendrith.
Oh, I know. Oh, isn't he great?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge fan. Heartsies. So for the meantime, right now, I'm just looking at the standings that we have. Subject to Change is at the bottom of the list. They have 4 recorded losses, so maybe they'll get their win here tonight. I know they want to, and we'll see what happens. Moving up to Blasting Burros, they're in position number 7 in the standings. They're tied with 6th, and with 8th, and with 9th, and with 10th, and with 11th, just because they've all moved to win percentages, and so those will differentiate themselves more as we get going. But they have 2 wins and 2 losses, so really could be anybody's game tonight.
Yeah, and the first map we're going to, Braxis, that first win could be decided pretty quickly if the losing team, whoever it may be, isn't careful. It's going to be a quickie.
Yep. I look forward to a great match though, and we'll see what happens. Let me just make sure that these guys are still ready to go, and we will get to the draft. They're talking about if they've seen any good movies lately. Have you seen any good movies lately, Kendo?
I just saw The Informant was put on Netflix, and that was pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed it. Got some Scott Bakula and Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
And a lot of other people you would recognize. Tony Hale. Plenty of people in that movie. And it was good. It was enjoyable. A dark comedy.
Fantastic. All right. Both the captains are ready, so here we go. We are going to Braxis. Hold out!
Braxis, hold out!
I don't expect any team to be holding out anything in this match, though. Wah, wah, wah. It's going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of fighting. There's going to be a lot of Zerg. I love the StarCraft maps. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, the art design for them is rad.
Space,
in a word.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love sci-fi stuff. So like when Blizzard, has some, that's their, like kind of space property. It just makes me a little bit excited. Nexus Gaming Series is rating us with a party of 16. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hi-yo. I wish I had a squeaky toy I could join in.
Well, I like to make people think that they can't buy their own, but you certainly can if you really want to. Since this map is subject to change, the first pick is going to go to Blasting Burros, and they ban Dahaka with a follow-up subject to change says goodbye to Genji.
It's not my favorite Dahaka map in the world. I like the larger maps to take a little bit more advantage. But with the sneaky rotation, on a dime's notice, there is some value to the Dahaka. I just think a hair less than on other maps. The Hammer, she's spicy.
Oh yeah, look at her. She's all sassy in her tank. Yeah, I feel like Genji has a lot of rotational ganking potential too, and he is also removed. So that's very interesting. Obviously doesn't have a global, but he does move very quickly as a ninja, or whatever he is.
Ninja of sorts, sure. Cyber ninja.
A ninja, something else. Does it really matter?
Oh.
Yeah, real bad. All right, so a Phoenix band.
They're quick with the picks, these teams.
Yeah, well,
I like it.
Yeah, they're ready to rumble. So Yrel.
Don't give me too much time to talk about it, but
tell me, what do you think about Yrel?
She's really hard to deal with. She's nigh unkillable. So she is a good pickup. I enjoy Blaze a little bit more, but Yrel is probably just a little bit stronger overall. The Phoenix ban is good. You see him coming up a little bit more early in priority, since Raynor just took a tiny half step back, but Raynor's still on the table. He would be a great pickup right here with the Muradin, and there you go.
Wow. Bada bing, bada boom. You tell them what to do and they do it. Heyo!
Yeah, 2 thumbs up in there like the Fonz.
Absolutely. That's good stuff.
So you see a lot of Azmodan bans in normal play, your Hero Leagues, unranked drafts and everything. So I'm really curious if Subject to Change is going to be able to get the value out of the Azmodan. And if they do, he can be really oppressive. It's just on the quicker maps, he's not going to have quite so much time to stack up and really get his, big damage numbers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you kind of want to play for a late game there if you're going to be working on your stacks. Thank you so much, Professor Bobo, for the Prime subscription. I really appreciate it. That is so nice of you. That's thank you so much.
Does that get a squeaky toy or what?
It gets 2. Oh my goodness. He says, there you go, big fella. Thank you, Bobo. I appreciate it. All right, so we see Rhaegar and Greymane picked up for Subject to Change.
2 different kind of wolves.
Yeah, there's all kind. And then Azmodan, he's got like some... he's got sharp teeth too. I don't know. Johanna, I don't know. I can't fit Johanna into that.
To do with anything.
Right, yeah. All of the pictures have to look similar for this team to work.
Yes, obviously.
Kharazim and Abathur. Wow.
Okay, Kharazim's going to be a little bit problematic going against the Johanna. That's going to neuter him slightly, since we're talking about dogs already. So Kharazim might have a little bit of trouble. So we'll see if they can make some, if Blasting Burros can make some hay with that pick.
Yeah, especially with Raynor too. I mean, he's going to depend a lot upon auto attacks. So.
Right.
Yeah, but Kharazim does have to get a lot closer to actually have to get those melee hits off. Artanis will complete the roster for Subject to Change. This is going to be an interesting lineup. Which team do you like better, Kendo?
It's a little tough. I like Subject to Change's draft a little bit more, because I think that there's more that can hamper what Blasting Burros is going to be trying to do. But there is the Abathur, and that can just change the complexion of the entire.
Yeah. Abathur not having a physical presence as himself out on the map. That hat, though, can really, really heavily favor one control point over the other, and it's like you can shift, that symbiote to wherever you want, and really make it difficult. And who do you think this is going to go on? Raynor? Is it going to go on Kharazim?
I think Kharazim's a great hat target. Is he someone who's going to get in there and get some of his 1,000 fists, a few hundred of his 1,000 fists in there? So he's always a great hat target. So if they were planning the Abathur draft from the beginning, then it makes sense to do Kharazim than Abathur. And they're just hoping that they can get through the duration of the blinds.
Absolutely. All right, well, here we go into game one. On the left, we have blue team, Subject to Change. We have a Linehouse playing that Azmodan. We have Thunder V or Thunder 5. Is it V or 5? I'm not sure. Playing the Greymane. We have Wipeout playing Johanna. We have Rendo Monkey. He's moving around. Random Monkey, sorry, playing playing on the Rhaegar, and we have Artanis being played by Math Problem.
Love that name. And on the red side, we got the Blasting Burros. We got McAllen on Urel, Pyromantic 1 on Raynor, Tiddly He on Muradin, Justice on that Abathur, and Zhu on Kerosene.
Well done, well done. You can read names of people running around much better than I.
No, I hit tab and read from the static list, so I don't have to bother with that.
Very good, very good. All right, so it looks like Urel is going to go in the top lane to fight off against Artanis, and we have like some of this invasion force here from Blasting Burros coming around the backside.
Yeah, they went the long way, didn't they?
They went the long way for a 3v4 here. Raynor taking a lot of damage, trying to back it up. Pyromantic running for the gates, turn around, re-engaging a little bit, but no picks in that first rotation.
I do like the aggression to catch them off guard there. It would have been very cool if they got something out of it.
Yeah, it's always fun to see really aggressive plays early in the game that kind of breaks up from the norm. Oh, this could be it here. Trying to get a lot of damage.
Very low, so is Pyro.
There goes, yeah, there goes Jimmy Raynor. He does fall, and very close as Muradin just takes a beating. In the top lane, it looks like we have the Mexican standoff going on up there.
No, it's the Canadian standoff where they're both holding the door for each other.
Oh, right, and no one actually gets to make it through. I like it. The Canadian standoff, so good. We do have a camp started here by Subject to Change. They're going to grab their siege camp. Top beacon's going to get grabbed by Blasting Burros. Bottom is going to be held.
Burros doing the same with their siege.
Yeah. Yep. A little bit later, a little bit behind, but same concept, and we'll see if we get a 4-on-4 again, or if we're going to try to invade some of these points on the beacon progress. Subject to Change is doing a lot of damage to this bottom fort wall, and it just goes away. And it looks like they're continuing to push. They said if they don't want to control the top beacon, they're just going to go in and take as much siege damage as they can.
And it's not a bad plan. If you get that gate down early and you can get even just 10% damage and back off, that can just set you up for that first wave coming in. Or in this case, yeah, it would be the first one coming in for the blue team.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, you're not really sure if you should rotate and try to get the other beacon. You don't have to. If you're going to win the lane, you can have a stalemate all day and you'll still be making progress. So,
yeah. Very
interesting. All right, Tiddly He zoning a little bit for this bruiser camp that's going to be starting to be picked up by Blasting Burros. Muradin says he wants the point, and I think he's just doing a distraction.
He's got second wind, but that doesn't work for mana, and I think that's what his downfall is. He's not going to be able to get out because he doesn't have the mana for the toss.
He does create enough space for Blasting Burros to get that bruiser camp, but I don't think it's necessarily worth it if he goes down as well. Especially because it makes it harder to push along with the camp if you lose people trying to grab it. In the top, Kerosene is joined up with Urel. And then they're going to go on an adventure together, perhaps.
They were just seeing if they could get a little pressure on the Artanis, but then they're both going to rotate down. They're probably going to try and make a 4.5v4 happen bot.
Greymane is taking a lot of damage, is trying to back out, and is going to get rotated on, and does drop. Rhaegar is taking a lot of damage as well. It has to back out. Muradin securing that kill down on the Azmodan.
Good aggressive toss by Muradin to start that off right. And then they get the early pick, and then could get the second one in the Asmo to follow up.
So, Blasting Burros, they did lose that bottom fort, which is unfortunate, but they did make back some progress in the XP game there. They're trying to control both beacons, and then we have a 3v2 at the very top. Rhaegar taking a lot of damage trying to get out. Random Monkey will make it.
That was good Urel stun to try and secure that. At least got him low, so he was going to have to back off, sip up. No, he's staying in.
He's in it to win it. All right, it's a 4v4. Everyone's crunched up together, and Greymane drops, takes too much damage. Urel is taking a lot of damage as well. Has to back up a little bit, leaving Raynor and Kerosene on the front. Muradin Almost all the way back up full health. And then it just dropped down again. I don't think he's going to be able to hold it. And if he stays, I think he'd be in trouble. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be. So it looks like they're doing a swap to keep the 4-man up top, or 4.5, or 3.5 man up top and get Urel down bottom. We see Gluttony's already half done, and another fight's breaking out.
Murden taking the brutal beating as well. Tries to jump out, does get away. Does not get stuck that first time, which was actually surprising because you always expect a Murden to be able to get away, but you know, a lot of times they just can't. As tricky as they can be, Murdens do sometimes die. All Murdens go to heaven, is what I believe. Karazim's low on the back. So is Artanis. Math problem has a problem himself as he's so low. He is going to back up and well tap. Johanna doing... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Urel's going to aggress in onto that. I thought they were already ready to disengage.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes you're like, all right, are we out? Are we in? Are we going back in? Are we going back out? Sometimes it can take a couple seconds to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah. Ooh. Urel's getting
so
greedy,
low.
but they get a kill. And she is going to make it out as long as she doesn't get dunked on.
Wow. Yeah, Greymane does not make it out of there. Artanis is way in the bottom lane. He's pretty much home.
Trying to push that up.
Yeah, it's pushed out pretty far. It's an interesting strategy. Both of the beacons are controlled by blasting burrows right now, but not for long.
So we've got Gluttony 3/4 finished. So that's pretty good time on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, make a lot of progress early game. It'll pay off later game. The sooner you can get some of those stacking quests done, the better it is. Azmodan 166 stacks.
Yeah. Not bad.
And counting.
169.
That really helps Azmodan being able to now fight with the team, not always having to be a solo laner. When he's fighting with the rest of the team, oh, here we go. There's a lot of damage dropping down onto Johanna. She's taking most of it, but she is low. Artanis being targeted.
Stacks on that last dunk.
Artanis, their tanks are so low. I think something to change. I don't know if they'll be able to. Well, they have the numbers though. They're standing on it. Artanis is gonna go grab that globe. Oh, Johanna.
Yeah, she had her iron skin. She knew what she was doing.
240. Oh, there goes Rhaegar. Oh, might get a follow-up kill here. Oh, seven-sided strike.
Seven-sided comes out, yes, and Urel finishes it off.
And there goes Greymane. All right, so let's look at some of these heroic abilities that were picked up. For subject to change, we have Tide of Sin on Azmodan. We have Ancestral Healing by Rhaegar. We have Go for the Throat by Greymane. Blessed Shield by Johanna. And Artanis is holding his pick. Meanwhile, Blasting Burrows has secured the 100% on the Zerg wave, and the Zerg is coming out right now.
Yeah, and we've got the Ardent Defender for the Urel. Rainer's Raider is the usual pick. Avatar, no Playmaker this time. Ultimate Evolution. What? They didn't pick Monstrosity? And Seven-Sided Strike for the Karazim.
I love it. I love it. That's really funny. How could they not?
How could they not? I see it every game in Hero League.
Seven-sided dropping down. Oh, Johanna's very low, and does get wiped out.
Wiped out, yeah. You beat me to it, friend.
Follow up, though. Oh, Raynor. Yes, Raynor does get dropped as well. Artanis is very, very low, but the Zerg wave is mostly gone. Still on the front line, though. Murden poking where he can. Ooh, swap barely misses. Here comes Urel, who's probably thinking about maybe doing a little bit of interception, but decides better of it and decides to get out of there as the call for retreat is given. All right, so it doesn't look like much progress was made by the Zerg. It was wave 1.
Blasting Burrows had to give up a lot to gain a foothold, and right now, you know, the 8 kills to 3, They're looking good in a lot of these fights, but they did give up a fort to get to that point. So it would have been nice if they could get at least half of that fort top on the Zerg wave that they ended up winning, but just was not in the cards.
Yeah, it was a pretty good defense by Subject to Change. Not a whole lot was pushed forward, although with the change to Braxis, where even if you don't get 100%, it still creates the need for someone to go defend the other wave regardless. Sometimes it's not. It makes it a little bit more interesting because it's not always 5 with the Zerg, go. You get a little bit more dynamic, longer fights if you have a 4v4 versus a 5v5 with Zerg. Bruiser Camp gonna be picked up by blasting Burros. They're smacking those robots around good.
Yeah, and you know, I really think that if they could have held on to 10% health on that fort, that mule could have gotten its value, and it might be a lot more even game map-wise right now. Even though Blasting Burrows, they have an extra level, 5 more kills. They're doing a lot of good things on the map. It's just that that fort is going to be a little problematic. They're not going to have a well to retreat to, even though Subject to Change doesn't up top, but they at least have the fort to retreat to get some shots in.
Camp Invade, Blasting Burrows moving in, but they're going to be spotted by Subject to Change, and there's going to be a challenge for this. 7-sided pops out. Oh my goodness.
Everything's coming
yeah,
out.
Greymane getting so low is backing out.
Got to get out. You're else victim.
Does get picked. Artanis running now very, very low, getting chased by Murden. Stun is down and not up. Moves on to Asmodan, but Asmodan be thick, so he's going to get away. But it looks like they will continue with this camp steal. But they are going to split. This could be problematic for Blasting Burrows if, well, Yrel can jump away, hopefully. She's pretty good at that, but she is surrounded. I don't know. I don't think she's making it out of this one.
Oh, Goat Lady's absorbing.
And here come the rest of the members of Blasting Burrows. They are going to be targeting. Now that 7-sided drops down onto Asmodan. Asmodan taking a lot of damage, getting chased. 123 hit points and down. Wow. Yrel.
Yeah, that Yrel play was spicy.
That was really great. Absorbed so much damage, turned to health. And they have this camp top that's just been pushing during this whole time. Artanis is going to respond to it and put it down in the ground. Meanwhile, bottom, Karazim getting very low in the 300 health range. He says he's out. He's going back to base. Murden trying to dance with that top, or that, I'm sorry, with that bottom beacon, but well, it looks like they might no. they're gonna challenge him.
How do you do? He's just saying what up.
He's just doing Murden things, being like, hey, look at me, I'm gonna do a little dance on you. All right, here we go. Teams are meeting up again, fighting for this bottom point. Beacon progress 60.
Jimmy is out.
64, no, 70, 80. This is channeling. Artanis is going to go top to stop this channeling beacon process.
I love Professor Bobo in chat saying Braxis 2018, where both teams can draft for extremely late game.
Thanks everybody for joining us in chat tonight. We appreciate it. Cody Kraz, Professor Bobo, Embers. I see you guys in there. Guys and gals. You. 7-sided used on Artanis, and Artanis is picked up in the top lane. This is going to make it hard. Oh, instead of, they don't care about the beacon, they just want to keep pushing, and they will get this fort. Just like that. Now the forts are even, but the bottom lane is going to be pushed out with a camp down there from Subject to Change. And it looks like they might be setting up a potential gank. Oh, but there's so many members. This could go either way.
Well, if they're good with their timing, they know that Evo is down. This is the best time for them to pick the fight.
Oh, there goes Greymane, there goes Rhaegar. Johanna in a lot of trouble. making out.
Ancestral was about a 1/10 of a second away from landing. That could have turned the whole deal.
Yeah, I hate when you miss those last second Ancestrals. You're like, if it was just an instant activatable, it'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, then it would be okay.
That's true. So there are more Zerg here for blasting Burros. Let's see how much value it gets. You do get a little bit more value if you push with it when the other team has members down. See a few members coming in from blasting Burros to help support it. They do have talent tier advantage, 16 to 14. Johanna getting very low. Murden chasing. Unstoppable. Will keep Johanna from getting stunned.
And Urel's just doing the homework up top.
Just slapping those Zergy babies all around. Karazim
A little
going
goat
in.
staff.
Yeah, yep. This might be the end of this fort. If not, it is so low. Yes, and it does drop. Artanis getting very, very low. Ooh, and does get picked. All right, so it's still on the retreat. Johanna
may follow, but there's a lot of low health bars on red side.
Ancestral used there to save Johanna, but Rhaegar does drop. Asmodan very low and does get shot through the wall by Jimmy Rayner.
Yeah, Karazim's getting a lot of Breath of Heaven value. They were all low, but they just clumped up, did a little group hug, and they all make it out. I think.
They are low. Murder, man, he just needs to walk away for a minute and he'll be back with full health. That second one really doing work. All right, so this bottom keep is gone. I don't think they can defend it.
I don't think they can. They're down 2. Abba still has an Evo on the table.
Whew. All right, they got what they came for. Blasting Burros say they're outie. Unless they get swapped. Oh, that was close. So a possible camp invade here, but subject to change is pretty much all over it. 7-sided used. Karazim getting targeted. Dropping back. Johanna taking a lot of damage. But she's alive and they saved their camp. So subject to change. Good stuff. Good defense there.
Yeah, basically in between casts of Ultimate Evolution, they could at least get a little something done.
Undeterred, Blasting Burros decides to pick up their own Bruiser camp. And subject to change picks up their Bruiser camp as well. So camp, camp, camp. Wait for the next engagement. A lot of vision being provided by Abathur with these mines. Maybe. At least hindrance to the opposing team. I hate when you run through bushes and vents and you're like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, a good ABBA is not fun to play against, nor is it interactive.
Dolce93 says, oh god, the URL, it's so good. Space Goat is too strong.
Murden was pretty strong there.
He's getting low, though. But now it's Artanis that's taking a lot of damage. 7-side strike does blow him up, and Artanis does fall. There goes Johanna. There go the tanky players. Will we see another? There goes Asmodan. There goes Greymane. Hunting for random monkey. Rhaegar's in trouble. Rhaegar may make it out.
Give Rhaegar self-ancestral back. Come on. You know?
I think I would love that. But Rhaegar does not make it out there. And it's a march on the core. I could be, I mean, look at all these mercs. There's a lot of mercs lined up down here. This I think, is game. The GGs do come out from Linehouse. And it's just getting shredded. 2% and done. Wow. All right, so game 1. Going to Blasting Burros.
Yeah, extremely well played. Wow. Like I said at the beginning of it, they gave up that early fort, but it was almost a calculated loss. They knew they just had to get that 7 to 10 portion of the game to really come online, and boy, did they ever.
Yeah, they really caught back up. as soon as they got, it seemed like they got a little bit of momentum with that top fort that they took themselves. They did a good job of winning team fights, getting kills, and then, you know, using that superiority to do other things, like maybe invade a camp or take down some more structure damage.
Yeah, and you saw that little pre-10 to just barely post-10 portion of the game where Blasting Burros was winning a lot of fights, but they were spending that advantage to just bring the map to even at first. But then they just kept the forward momentum going. Yeah,
absolutely. Looking at some of these stats here, do you see the hero damage from Muradin? The hero damage is crazy.
Ooh, Muradin more like.
Indeed. Oh, yes, indeed. 70k. This Muradin was bouncing around everybody. That's a lot of hero damage, but it just lets you know how much Muradin was being a nuisance, like getting in the way of the objective, like creating cover for invading camps and things like that. That's very interesting to look at. Highest siege damage in the game was by Yrel. I didn't see a whole lot of really, 1v1 action going up there. I mean, Yrel did a lot of clearing of the Zerg and things like that.
Yes.
So I don't think it was all necessarily against a direct contest with Artanis. But putting out really good numbers there. Asmodan, 120k siege damage, 55k from the Greymane. I feel like Greymane is sometimes a dangerous. I mean, he's always dangerous because he can put out so much burst on you. But if he uses everything and you don't get the kill, then I feel like, oh no, what do I do now? Like, now everyone. It's like when you run into a church and start screaming, and everyone looks at you, and you're like, well, if no one thought that was funny, now I'm in trouble.
I know from firsthand experience.
Yes, absolutely. Hasn't everyone done that at one point in their life?
I thought so.
I don't know, man. Not even once. Don't even try. All right. Well, that does it for game 1. We are going to be going into game 2 here in just a minute. We're going to be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. This was picked by Blasting Burros. So one more opportunity for Subject to Change to get their a win in for round 1. Anything you want to say about going to Tomb of the Spider Queen? I guess we'll talk about it in a second during draft. So.
Oh, of course we will.
So we will see you guys soon. We will be right back. Stay tuned, and we will have game 2 to you out shortly.
By the way, if you're holding on for a Frozen reference, just let it go. Oh no, what have I done?
Today, I'm Uther the Painbringer.
Blondes may have more fun, but redheads are more fun.
100% pure bull, baby.
Not enough hatred. Just kidding. I hate you a bunch right now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Game 2 versus Subject to Change versus Blasting Burros Div A West. I'm joined again for Game 2 by my delightful co-host, Kendo. Hello, sir.
I'm delightful. Thank you.
Delighted to tell you so. You are delightful.
You're delightful.
People have told me I'm delight empty, and I said I don't want to speak to you anymore because I don't understand the words that you're telling me. I get confused. I get confused very easily, very often.
I get that.
Yeah, just the brain cells. It's true. The brain cells just don't grow back. I'm living proof. All right, so that was game 1. Brax's very exciting game. We're gonna go into game 2. Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is Blasting Burros' pick of map. So Subject to Change will have the first ban, first hero pick in this game. Do you have anything, Kendo, before we hop into this?
Let's get it rolling, man. This game should last a little bit longer. This is a game where both teams could get to 20. So maybe we'll see those Nazebos coming out.
Very good, yeah. Speaking of stacks for late game, Nazebo would be the pick of the game. All right, it looks like both captains are ready. Let's rock and roll. We are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Oh, that was so good. You timed that so good. I was like, what? The sound changed on this. And it sounds really different. Oh, it's because Kendo's the man. All right, fair enough.
I do some impressions on the side.
The timing was just so perfect. It scared me. I was like, is someone behind me? This whole time.
So they go back to that Genji ban. We'll see if they go back to the Dahaka ban, which is another map I'm not crazy about Dahaka, but he can certainly work.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Interesting. All right. Say no to Asmodan. I guess that's a respect ban.
Yeah. R-E-S-P-E-C-T R-I-P.
I like that. There goes Raynor. Raynor is out as well. So we will not be seeing either of these heroes in this game, like we did the last game.
A little too much pepper.
That's right. That's right. I feel like they should give him some lines, ironic lines about salt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they do. They must. They must have, right? Oh, wow.
I don't know. At this point, I mean, they could always bring him back for some more voiceovers.
It's true. Johanna banned by Blasting Burros. We are going to see a lot of the heroes, I guess, from last game banned, but Yrel does make it through, but this time is picked up by Subject to Change.
She is a strong hero, so it's good to see her come out. I think Blaze can hang with her, at least. Deckard's super strong.
Big Daddy Deckard and Jaina getting a lot of slows, stuns, roots going on over there. I like it. Deckard's so strong right now.
He really, really is. A lot of people call him the #1 right now for supports.
Yep, and I believe it. The numbers he's been putting out lately are great, especially in NGS. I think he is the top healer.
Yeah.
I hear that data is out there, so I'm getting excited thinking about taking a look at it. Hopefully soon. Diablo and KT picked up by Subject to Change.
Yeah, Diablo's been getting a lot of priority lately. I like Garrosh in that spot since he wasn't banned, because he can just completely take over the early game. But Diablo doesn't do a bad job of that either, so they're cut from a similar cloth.
Yeah, I like Diablo, especially on the turn-ins on this map. There's, you know, so many different walls that you can hit them against, either in the turn-in, directly outside of the turn-in. Diablo can be really dangerous. A dangerous and stunning individual on this map.
And that Muradin ban. I'm glad they paid notice to the stats from last game and take that Muradin off the table.
Yeah, MVP assassin last game, Muradin. Taking Stukov off the table a little bit before that. What healer do you think is going to be picked up by Subject to Change as Maiev and Leoric get picked up for blasting Burros?
If Rhaegar's a comfort, then they may just go right back to it, and he's not bad on this because he does offer a lot of wave clear with those lightning shields.
That's true.
It just depends who they're going to pair with it, if it's going to be a really good target for Ancestrals or not.
I get a weird Alex feeling, but maybe it's just the burrito I had for lunch. Oh, it is Alex!
Hey.
Hooray! It might be the burrito as well, because you know what. Greymane picked up again.
Yeah, so that must be a big comfort pick for them. And with Blasting Burros banning the Johanna, that actually works in Greymane's favor.
That's true, and there's your Garrosh.
Big Daddy Gary.
Oh, behave, Gary. Blasting Burros gets the Garrosh. This will be interesting. Because I was like, all right, well, you could have the Maiev, you know, throw Jaina, throw someone back to Jaina and Deckard, I guess, but really, it seemed like they were missing one other thing possibly, and I think that Garrosh that fulfills that channel and sequence, that combo, is complete.
Yeah. And I thought we might see a Phoenix in the place of either in lane in place of Leoric, or in place of the Maiev, just because of that Joe ban that might have been setting up for Jaina slows and then Phoenix follow-up.
Yeah.
They go this way, and I think this is a very strong comp for them. Garrosh should be an early priority hero in a lot of drafts, so the fact they get him 5th pick is fantastic for them. So I kind of like what Blasting Burros has going on here.
All right, well, here we go into game 2. Subject to Change versus Blasting Burros. As soon as Random Monkey loads in. There we go. All right, let's get to it. On the left side, we have Subject to Change. We have a Random Monkey playing the KT. We have Linehouse playing the Alex Straza. We have Thunder V playing the Greymane. We have Math Problems, who is playing... What are you playing? Yrel. And... I think... And we have Wipeout playing the Diablo.
And on the red side, we have Blasting Burros with McAllen on Leoric. Pyromantic 1 on Maiev, Tiddly He, love that name, on Garrosh, Justice on Jaina, and Zhu on Deckard.
I really do like Tiddly He. It's just fun to say.
It's a great name.
Tiddly He, Tiddly Who, Tiddly Ha. Alright, a little bush action from Tiddly He and Pyromantic 1. They get the throw onto Diablo, and they start engaging. He's taking quite a bit of damage, but Jaina gets picked up by the Greymane, just with that burst damage.
Yeah, I think he might feel a little more at home on this map against this comp. As long as he doesn't get tossed, he might be able to make some hay on that Jaina.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of escape too if he does get tossed. It's just a little bit harder to use, so... But I think Greymane, you know, Greymane is probably going to be one of the targets. Yep, and he gets tossed there. But Garrosh is on the back line, taking a lot of damage, and yeah, Greymane can't get away from the towers. Just takes too much damage, and they get a return kill. It's 1-1. A lot of action already. We're still under a minute and a half.
Yeah, you like to see these aggressive openings. It's a lot of action, entertaining for the people.
Diablo getting a big push onto Garrosh towards the towers, taking a lot of damage. Some good heals coming in from Deckard Cain there, keeping him alive with those potions. 40 3% armor at that health. So I mean, it does help. It does help you absorb a lot of damage, but it's a dangerous game to play when you're so low.
It does. He was pretty low, but he knew he could get out there with his armor and get a little sip, and it'd be good.
Tiddly, he's in trouble.
Flipped over into the center.
He's taking a lot of damage. 20 hit points does eventually fall, pulling Diablo back towards the wall. Maev tries to secure the kill on Diablo, but it doesn't quite happen.
Yeah, she pops Dragon Queen to deny the even it out kill. So they do get a 1 for nothing.
Yep. You always wonder when someone uses Dragon Form, am I going to need it later? Did I pop it too soon? You'll never know. So you do the best you can.
You don't want it to be too good to use.
That's true.
You never use it.
If you hold on to it forever and never use it, you're right. It does get 0 value. That's a very good point. It's like sometimes on Volskaya when you use those items.
Certainly.
If you never put a turret down, it gets no use. So in the bottom lane, it's Leoric versus Uriel.
This might be a little boring. You might want to go back to the group.
Yeah, I think we'll see some more action up here up top. A lot more fighting, by the way.
Great triangle by Deckard.
So we see experience is about the same. Got 5 going to 5.5. So at this point, it's too close to tell. Jane's got about 3,500 into her Frostbite. Needs to get to 15k. 11 stacks of Mana Addict from KT. Diablo sitting at 80 souls. Also Warbreaker picked up on Garrosh. Looking for a total of 15. Garrosh, though, gets flipped by Diablo and gets blown up.
Great grab by Diablo, and then zoning off those gems for a moment so they cannot pick them back up.
Both teams have turn-in. Who will get them in first? 22 gems on Math Problem in the bottom. Only 9 on Leoric. Camp picked up, though. Bruiser Camp. And that will start marching its way mid. Now would be a good time for a turn-in from Subject to Change if you have a camp pushing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the only problem with the middle camp is it doesn't really open up either of the turn-ins. So if you get the bottom camp, it can open up the top turn-in more. But it looks like they're going to get it. Yeah, Blue is going to get this first turn-in. So Subject to Change is looking to blaze the comeback trail.
Very good start so far. Getting that first turn-in, especially with the lanes push, is good. Let's see how much value they can get with it. It looks like that camp is probably going to be cleared all the way before the web weavers come out. But it is, we see a lot of resources heading top now for Subject to Change. I think they might be pushing top. That's probably where they're going to focus a lot of their resources.
Yeah, they're going to be looking to set up for a boss. If they can really get those 10s first, can really get an advantage that can start to snowball it for them.
That was a huge stun by Garrosh. Diablo goes in, gets the flip.
Good vault from Maev.
Yeah, avoiding certain death. All right, so good defense here by blasting Burros. Not much gained top. I mean, you did clear the wall, so that's good. Bottom was taken care of by Leoric. We'll see how much value the blasting Burros get out of this for their turn in, if they are to turn in next. They have the gems. Garrosh charging at the retreating Subject to Change team members. Gives him a little flip. Looks like he's just trying to stall out for people to turn in, but they still need 3 more. They only need 3 more. 3 more, and then they get their own Web Weaver phase.
Which, yeah, Subject Change is going to have to be careful with this. This could rubber band back on them if Blasting Burros gets more out of their turn-in than Subject Change did theirs.
Very true, very true. You always want to get more than your opponents, and as the time goes on, though, and the longer it takes for a turn in, the more the web weavers do. So, Blasting Burros do get the web weavers though, and they will be marching along. The lanes are fairly well pushed, especially bottom.
Yeah, bottom was definitely prepped, and you know, I thought the top would be a little bit more priority to defend the lane against a possible later boss, but Justice is taking a lot of damage, and she is gonna fall.
And they get it. Wow, that was a great combo and working together between Greymane and Diablo there, keeping that Jaina from getting back behind the wall. Warden's Cage goes down.
Thunder's really low. He has a lot of gems on him, and that's a lot of gems dropped.
There goes Diablo. There goes Greymane. This Lornado pops out as well.
So many books.
Yes, all the books. Let's take a look at Subject to Change. They are 10 as well. Let's see what the ultimates they picked. They're heroics. We have Cleansing Flame from Alexstrasza, Phoenix from KT. We have question mark right now for Greymane, Ardent Defender from Yrel, and Lightning Breath from Diablo.
Here we got the Entomb, we got the Bouncy Castle, Warlord's Challenge, Earth. Oh, we did the Water Elemental this time. Okay, Lornado.
Go for the Throat is chosen for Greymane. Do you call it the Bouncy House? Is that the Warden's Cage?
The Bouncy Castle, yeah, I stole it from Haloran.
Oh, that's so good. I love it.
It's so good, so.
I hadn't heard that.
Kudos to him.
That's fantastic.
It really is.
Jaina's at 9,600 now of her Frostbite quest. Mana Addict.
Well, I have to say, I'm a big fan of Ring. Ring is so good, and I know that Water Elemental is getting a lot more play lately, but I really think that Ring can just set up full team wipes as opposed to assist the normal team fight scheme.
I like Ring a lot too, especially if you match that up with Lightning Breath and they're just sitting in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then when they finally get out and they can start walking, they're already so slow that they're not going to go anywhere. But we'll see how Water Elemental works out.
Subject change, picking up their bruisers. Let's see how much time is left. Okay.
And we get a second turn in by Blasting Burros. Once again, they've prepped the lanes pretty good. Warden's Cage comes down. Lightning Breath goes out, as well as Lornado getting very, very low. There goes Alexstrasza. There goes Greymane. Maev's got to be careful. Does get taken out. A good toss onto Yrel. Just absorbing a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, Yrel got a lot of health out of it, but I don't know if it's enough.
It is not, and there goes 20 gems. Entomb goes down. Diablo with the flip and stun. But Subject to Change will lose their mid-fort. Talent tier advantage. Now going to Blasting Burros, 13 to 12. And they're going to keep pushing for this mid-keep. See what they can get.
They're likely going to get it. No, not likely.
They're
underestimating death timers.
Yep, it's still only 10 minutes in. But they will get a lot of damage. And they're going to rotate with the top web weaver that's still alive. See what they can get here. It looks like this fort is going to go down fairly quickly. There it goes.
And Leoric's working on that bottom, so I should at least get to half. No, he's rotating now.
There's still quite a lot of creeps in this wave.
Great grab by Diablo. Be a dead Garrosh, and it is.
Garrosh is the one that ends up behind the wall. Can't make it out. Maybe staying a little bit too long. Lornado pops out for the disengage. Deckard Cain, old and on fire, running away for his life. And maybe we see a boss move here from Subject to Change. If they want to do it, they have to do it quick. They're ignoring Leoric in the bottom lane, but he's kind of given up. He's going to go somewhere else. He gets the heads up that they're going on the boss. This boss is dropping pretty fast though. Greymane's just ripping in. I don't know if they'll make it in time, and they do not. All right, so the boss is picked up by Subject to Change. I think that was a really smart move after getting those picks.
And it's also a smart move by Maev to not just panic, throw the bouncy castle on it, and try and make something happen when it just wasn't there. So good restraint on the side of Blasting Burros to just let it happen and defend, give up a fort, that's okay. They're already ahead enough on this map that that won't be a math problem.
That's a very good point. Trying to stop something but throwing away your life for it and them getting it anyways is like a double loss.
Yeah, I can tell from firsthand experience.
Greymane gets tossed over the wall. Takes a lot of damage, but does make it back. There comes the Warden's Cage. Lightning Breath.
Stuck in the cage, wow.
I believe... Oh my goodness, Maev is so low.
Can I at least get a return kill on that? Maev doesn't look like it.
Greymane, KT, Alex, all down. So low. And now Yrel and Diablo. There goes Yrel, there goes Diablo. Whew. 5-man wipe on the side of Subject to Change. They were fighting down a talent tier. They did have the boss with them. The boss, often doesn't attack the same targets that you want to.
Right.
So they do drop there. Diablo's back up.
I think that in that moment, since they knew that Blasting Burros were going to hand over their fort and then try and defend past that, they could have actually let the boss go into the fort and maybe invade Bruisers, maybe get that bottom camp, try and push the other lanes out, because they already knew they were getting a fort. So what would be the point of trying to fight on to keep wall when you're down a talent tier?
Yeah, maybe they thought they could get a couple kills as well and maybe get that keep itself. Sometimes it's like, all right, we can go get this camp, but what I really want is that keep. It's hard to tell.
When you're that far back, you're down 16s especially. It's one of the big power spikes.
Yep, you're right. That's real. It's real tough.
It's dicey.
Absolutely. Spicy and dicey. Getting some turn in here. Tiddly he says, tiddly ho, goodbye to those gems as they get turned in. And here we go. Web Weaver phase for Blasting Burros again as they get enough for turning.
Yeah, if Subject Change can't get a pick out of this, just isolate one person and blow them up, then I'm really not sure that they can live past this phase.
At least a keep or two. If Blasting Burros, if not more. If Blasting Burros can themselves get picks on Subject to Change. Entomb goes down. There goes Phoenix, there goes Lightning Breath.
Cleansing Flames did do some work.
Yep, there goes Jaina, there goes KT. The mages are taken out. Lornado has popped. Wipeout's trying to get away. 500 health. Dragon with the save. Toss. Onto Yrel, puts math problem in the middle of everybody, but it's Greymane who drops down as well as the mid keep.
Yeah, limiting that to a 1-for-1 trade actually wasn't that bad if they could have kept it to just that. They would have had 10 more seconds of Kael'thas and him being closer with his Hollow Storms than Jaina would be.
Yeah, Subject to Change, they lose their top keep, and I'm not sure here if Blasting Burros are looking to end or take the other keep. It looks like they're fighting right underneath. There goes Warden Cage and Entomb. There goes Phoenix again as well. Diablo is super low. So is Maev. No one dying there, but the bottom keep does go down.
Well, Deckard is bonkers, so that is a thing.
That's true. That's very, very true. If I can pull up his numbers right now.
And Linehouse is getting some decent Cleansing Flame value. Definitely pumping out the Alex numbers.
Yeah, as far as healing goes, 66k from Deckard and 69k from Alex, so they're both putting out a lot of numbers. That is for certain. 20 now for Blasting Burrows. They're just up, 2.5 so levels. They're up talent tier. It's really hard. It's really hard to defend against that, especially when you have no keeps.
Yeah, it's very hard. And even if they do get 9 more gems and turn in, they're so pushed in that they're not going to get that much out of it.
Absolutely. Here comes Lightning Breath, as well as Phoenix, Cleansing Flame. Tiddly, he is
very low.
Taking so much damage, getting stunned by Diablo against the wall. And does drop. Here comes Lornado, pushing everybody back. Yrel leading the retreat out of there. Maybe a re-engage here onto Maiev. A flip on Deckard, brought back, but the members are so low on Subject to Change. There goes Diablo, and Yrel is going to absorb some damage, but cannot make it out. Yrel drops as well.
Not enough absorption.
KT, exactly. It was too moist to handle. All right,
right. So couldn't absorb any more. It was just too moist.
That's true. And this looks like game. 20%. Blasting Burrows is throwing everything at it, and they get it. They get game 2. Well played, both teams. Let's take a look at these stats real quick.
Hey, Rag. And drinking.
Oh, hey, Ragnarok in chat. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for the follow. Our Dunasaf SF? Rudin Asif? I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you. And Ragnarok has followed as well. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. All right, so let's take a look at... Oh, I was going to update the score. That's what I was going to do. Okay. So looking at the stats, it looked like the team, the kills, once again, favoring Blasting Burrows. They were able to get more of them. As the level gap increases, that number grows, seems to tend to grow, because you have more and more of an advantage. It's really hard to fight back against that. At one point, it felt like, if Subject to Change is going to come back from this, they have so much work to do. It always becomes more and more pressure, and eventually it just pushes you over the edge.
Yeah, but again, Subject to Change played a pretty good opening game. Their early game, the pre-ultimate game.
Absolutely.
And looked like they might have been setting themselves up to, create a little upset.
Yep, they got the first Web Weaver turn in. And things were looking good. They got a 1 kill like within probably the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't want to disparage Subject to Change. I think both teams played very, very well. And it's very, very exciting games to watch. It's one of those games where so much stuff happens all at once, all the time. It's really hard to pick out which pixels are which and what's actually going on. Very, very fun game to watch. KT 100k Siege. Leoric, the Trash Man, 150k Siege. Jaina dropping down 52.
150. That's a lot.
Oh yeah. 52k hero damage from Jaina, 41k hero damage from Greymane. Let's see. What else stands out here? Well, at the end, Deckard and Alex both had 81,000 healing within a few hundred of each other.
I think it's pretty notable that Leo was crushing the XP game, doing the dirty work, the trash man. I mean, he is Leoric the janitor.
That's true.
No,
this is true.
But still tying for most kills on the team. So it was just some timely damage.
Indeed. Way 245 of the chat says Kendo is my dad. He makes my weenus moist. All right. I like that. Wipeout Twitch says fun game, especially the second. Yeah, you guys put on a great show. It was so much fun to cast. I'm gonna see if Michaelin from Blasting Burrows wants to talk to us for a second after that game. Thank you so much for the follow, Solo1675. I appreciate it. And Random Monkey09, thank you for the follow. I really do appreciate it. All right, Michaelin does want to get asked a few questions by us, so I'm going to hop into a different lobby and I will pull you in.
Pull me too, Daddy.
Lobby 1.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, welcome. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah.
Well played, well played.
GG's, WPs.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So, do you mind if we ask you a few questions, sir, about the matchup this evening?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, some of it's going to be about the matchup, and some of it's just going to be about you guys. Can you tell us a little bit about Blasting Burros? You guys have been around. You were here last season, I remember. Is that right? Or am I just making things up?
No, you're not just making things up, thankfully. Yeah, so Blasting Burros is actually the dorm team for Colorado School of Mines. So we're all really good friends. We all play together a lot. Primarily, we're playing in NGS just to warm up for dorm. It's going to be coming up this year. Super excited for that. But yeah, this will be our second season of NGS, and we're really looking forward to the rest of it.
Oh, fantastic! That's great. It's always fun. It's always fun to play as a team with like friends that you've been playing with for a long time. It makes it a little bit easier when you're like, man, like you get to know each other a little bit more. It's not like you're thrown in to a matchup of other players that you're not necessarily have gel with as much or have as much, you know, kind of experience with. So that's cool. We're glad to have you for season 2. And were you guys in Division A last season as well?
Yes.
Can you quickly remind us like how last season went and where you see this season going? I guess that's kind of 2 questions.
Yeah, so pretty happy with how last season went. We ended up going all the way to the finals of Division A West, dropping a match to Team Freelo, now known as Pride Start Gaming. Now that they've moved up to Heroic Division, we're looking pretty optimistic towards this season, just because we did pretty well last one. So we're definitely looking to be a top contender, but also definitely looking out for every other team, especially the new ones that we aren't super familiar with. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So you feel like maybe some of your competition from last season is been removed from your division this season, so that you guys feel good about that. That's kind of what you're saying with Freelo moving up.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that happened. I'm in Division C, and so that happened with us too. So we're like, oh, maybe we'll do better. But. It all comes down to practice and hard work, right? Or luck? I don't know. Something like that. I'm still trying to figure out. Kendo, do you have any questions at this point?
Well, as far as a team, do you have very rigid roles and who does the shot calling and like how, quote, standard would you say your team makeup is?
I'd say we're pretty open dialogue, honestly. Like, Tiddly here, tank player, he's our main shot caller, but really, basically everyone on the team has a voice. Very heavy input. Our comms are pretty, dynamic and colorful when we're in game. So, yeah, we really just appreciate everyone's input, and I think just a part of playing together for so long is we're able to just like kind of have this cohesive unit that is all able to kind of talk at once.
Yeah, longevity is one of the best factors for a team, and just that fosters the cohesion and the synergy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'd like to get into talking about the games specifically, if you want to, Moisty.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Shoot, start us off if you have something that's burning.
All right, so game 1, my big thing is, they have an early Johanna. And it seemed like you had your plan. You wanted the Rainer, you wanted the Kerosene, and you wanted the Abahat. And the Johanna wasn't going to put you off of that. Was there any sort of even talk about pivoting the draft plan to maybe, oh, maybe we shouldn't do Karazim, or we'll take the Rainer, but we should get a mage instead of Abathur or something like that? Was there any trepidation there, or did you knew what you wanted and you were gonna bust through the blinds even if you had to?
So that actually wasn't the draft we were going in with. We actually didn't expect to be taking Abraxas holdout, but basically our draft was reactive to the Asmodan pick, which I think they first picked alongside the Johanna. Big thing with Asmodan is he's really able to stack well on that map, just because you're constantly brawling in a 4v4. So we went into this draft with the after that pick with the mindset of we are going to rotate all over the map. We're never going to give them like the solid 4v4 that they want all game, So we took heroes that we felt complemented that. So yeah, the Karazim and the Mood are really, really good at rotating, looking for those ganks, and the Abathur as well. He can catch soak, he can hat people, kind of like, I guess, like shift the balance in these lanes. So yeah, that was kind of the way we were going on. Lines of Johanna weren't too much of an issue, just because we were picking Karazim mostly for his like pick potential. Yeah.
And then as the early portion of the game played out, was there any sort of worry of giving up that 4 early, or were you like, after 7s we're fine, even if we don't get that mule on that bottom fort, then we'll snap back, win a couple of fights, get the map even, and then keep winning the fights? Was there any worry there, or did you have confidence that you would be able to turn that around?
We were a little worried. I think we kind of misunderstood how to play our early game initially, which is why they kind of got that early lead in that push. Eventually we just decided, okay, let's have Yorella rotate bot. Let's force the kind of like 5v4 bot lane while Artanis is still there momentarily, and that worked out really well for us. Just, I guess, acknowledging that we didn't have to just like rotate top to look for things, we could also just rotate the UL down to look for a big gank in that lane was a big thing that kind of helped change our mindset of how that game was supposed to be played.
Well, you definitely did, take over the game, win a couple of fights. You had to spend your advantages to get it even, but then you kept winning fights and you really pushed it further. You took Fort and Keep on the following wave after you got it to even. So the perseverance was really good to see from you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a quick question about game 1, and then maybe we'll move on to game 2. Do you think that you're going to start moving Murden into the assassin role? He's so much damage, hero damage, game 1.
Yeah, so moving implies that he was somewhere else to begin with. For our team, Tiddly is our main assassin player, and for some reason he picks tanks.
I liked how aggressive Murden played in game 1. Doesn't matter how many people were standing on the point. He's like, I'm going in. I'm gonna just distract them. I'm gonna hold the other team back. I want to give cover for the rest of my teammates to get this camp, or I just want to get in there and actually start doing some damage. I think the aggressive gameplay of Murden in game 1 was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a large part of the reason why we had success in the game. So shout outs to my tank player.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, one last note on game 1 was that was one of the better absorb Urel ults that I've seen. So credit to McAllen. Was that McAllen on that?
Yeah, I was on the Urel.
Yeah, we thought you were dead, and that absorb.
That was one of the best absorbs I've seen. Just perfectly timed, like you were almost baiting it out. Like, let me get to 15%, maybe 10% health before I pop this.
Yeah, felt really good to steal a lot of aggro away from our other damage and just kind of, I guess, deprive the enemy of resources. But yeah, thanks.
All right, should we move into game 2, Mr. Kendo?
So yeah, in this one there was a little bit of, they were getting a little bit of a leg up on you a little bit early. But then as soon as you kind of turned it around, got your footing, you were marching forward.
So do you guys feel like you were down a little bit at the beginning? Subject to Change gets the first turn in. Is that something that you were trying to get yourselves, or it seemed like after the first turn in defense, which you guys defended really well, it seemed like you guys kind of turned something on and started turning the tables on Subject to Change. Can you talk about it, what that might have been?
Yeah. So my team was feeding early game, so they all did and they stopped.
Okay.
No, but yeah, they had a ton of kill potential with the like Diablo, Greymane, KT, and they did a great job of executing that. And I think we just didn't respect that early game, so they got a little bit of an early advantage. But then in like midway through that game, I think like a macro presence really shone through that game. We had a ton of wave clear between the Jaina and the Maiev and the Leo. Really made it so that the web weavers didn't do too much that first phase, and then we were able to kind of just like double soak, basically clear our way to victory that game, because we just cleared waves faster than them. That led to talent tier advantages, that led to like free turn-ins, and kind of just went on from there.
Excellent. I see that you guys did a lot of lane prep before actually getting the spiders in the lanes. Is that something that was intentionally done, that you guys kind of practice, or does that just happen to line up with the momentum of the map?
Yeah, that's always something we keep in the back of our mind. We always try to like prep waves before we're pushing into them. I think that's super undervalued when trying to like maximize what you're getting out of pushes.
That's great, because I know I love watching higher divisions play, because I always learn something, because I don't know much, so I try to learn as much while I'm with everybody, and seeing such great gameplay by both teams. Kendo, do you have any questions about Game 2?
Do you think that the Garrosh pick gave you a little bit of problems in the Murden was a more comfortable pick? Because for me, I think that Garrosh is probably the #1 tank, but he's so mechanically demanding. So do you think that it was a little bit difficult because of the mechanical demand on him? Because I mean, not that it was a bad Garrosh game at all, but just a couple of times he got picked where a Murden may not have.
Sure.
Was it a little less of a comfort pick? Is I guess what I'm asking.
Yeah, I do think Garrosh is maybe a little bit less of a comfort pick for Tidley. But yeah, also a big factor of that, which is we took, like I said, we didn't really respect their comp a ton at certain points in that game, and just we took fights that we maybe shouldn't have, and I think like in those fights someone was gonna die, and it just happened to be Garrosh because he's our tank player.
Yep, and he absorbs so much damage. The more health he loses, the more damage he can even take. So yeah, absolutely. And also that makes sense, saying that he playing Garrosh like an assassin, and I think that's very, very interesting, and kind of changes the way you think about the match, getting that knowledge at the end.
Sure.
Yeah, that was very, very, very interesting. Anything else, Kendo?
No, just really well played. You guys are making some waves, and I hope you keep it strong and make your way into playoffs and meet the other teams that you were competing with that made their way to Heroic Division, and hopefully you guys make it there too for next season.
Awesome, thank you.
Absolutely. Do you have any shout outs for anyone or anything before you head out and celebrate your victory?
Yeah, huge shout outs to my whole team. Everyone showed up today. Really, really love playing with them as always. Huge shout outs to you guys for casting. Thanks so much. And shout outs to Twitch chat, everyone who watched. Shout outs to Ember, and yeah, everyone who supported us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations, and great games played. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye. Speaking of shout-outs, I missed a couple things. Let's see. Where did I leave off? I think Wade245. I don't think I got you. Thank you so much for following. And King Noodles, thank you so much for the follow. I really do appreciate it. I really love these names, too. They're great. Oh my goodness. And
yeah, Way's my boy, Rag's my boy, Drinkin's my boy. We got a couple of boys.
everybody's got to come see Papa Kendo lay down the law. Thank you so much for co-casting with me, Kendo. It was a joy, a pleasure, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and hopefully you'll have me back sometime.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'll turn some water into beer.
So, right, exactly. I love the, yeah. That's why you grow the Jesus beard, right? So you can turn water into wine. It's so good. So you guys go ahead and follow Kendo if you want on Twitter. He can be found at @Kendo_hots. And
yeah, same as my Twitch. So I stream very rarely, but occasionally I do, and it's usually entertaining, and I get my ass kicked, but I do it with a smile usually.
Well, you'll be like a Twitch unicorn. It exists, but pops up rarely, but is quite the sight to behold.
Yeah.
Any shout outs or anything that you have going on besides that?
Mainly the Fogey League community. Always a shout out to that. Former teammates and current teammates for team name pending. It's been a lot of fun. We haven't gotten that solid W yet, but we're working on it, and hopefully we'll get it. And shout out to Honest Abe, who's coaching us. He's a high-level player. He's really good. So hopefully we'll get that W with some of his help. And shout out to you. Shout out to Clouded Minds. Swing is always a good time. You're always a good time. And it's been great to be here.
Oh, well, we appreciate it so much. Thank you, sir. You can find me on Twitter @MoistWeenus or on Twitch, twitch.tv/MoistWeenus. Or you can find me posting weird GIFs in the NGS Discord.
Always.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. So, but thanks everybody for watching. Everybody in the chat, really appreciate you guys being here. We will catch you soon for another cast, and we'll catch you on the squeaker. All right.
See you guys.
Bye.